Hey guys, it's Chris and welcome back to Smokescreen, and here I wanted to do a kind of a remake video. I originally did this video back in 2015, October 2015 to be specific, but this came from a Patreon who sent me a message asking how the Starks got their warging ability in the first place, so it was kind of ironic that I had already done a video on this a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So if you would like to join the Patreon community as well, feel free to do so. The link is in the description below and help shape the future of this channel and videos to come. But anyway, let's jump right into it. How did the Starks get their magical DNA in the first place? Alright, so we have two major houses in our story that has magical blood, or more specifically, magical DNA. Of course, we have the Targaryens, who have the magical ability to bond with dragons, to ride dragons, and to also hatch dragons. They seemingly have immunity to heat as well as disease, and on certain occasions, as we see with Dany, they can be fireproof. And of course, the other house to have seemingly magical blood in our story are of course the Starks of Winterfell. So of course, right now in our story, we know all the Stark children are wargs. Now this is more so a book thing. In the show, it seems to be Bran and Bran alone, who is a Skinchanger / Greenseer. But of course we know from the crypts of Winterfell themselves that all the former kings of winter buried there have direwolves at their feet. So this is not a new ability by any means. This has been going on for a long, long time in the Stark family. So as it turns out, in the world of Ice and Fire, we have a little paragraph on a page talking about the kings of winter and how I think they got the warging ability in the first place. So of course the old kings of winter were not necessarily great people. They took over the dominion of the north through force, and most of their wars were fought over land, just like most wars are in the real world. And one of the examples we have from the world of Ice and Fire that this is the case is from the page about the kings of winter, and it says this: "Ancient ballads, along with the oldest to be found in the archives of the Citadel of Old Town, tell how one king of winter drove the giants from the north, whilst another felled the Skinchanger Gavin Greywolf and his kin in the savage war of the wolves. But we only have the word of the singers that such kings and such battles ever existed." So right there, that's telling you that the Starks were claiming dominion over the north. They drove other people out, including the giants apparently, if this is to be believed. And it says here they actually felled, or basically killed, a Skinchanger named Gavin Greywolf. So this of course tells you that there were other first men who had this ability to skin change, but where did they get it from in the first place? Well, it just so happens that on the same page, in the world of Ice and Fire, talking about the kings of winter, we also have this little passage. "Chronicles found in the Night's Watch at the Night Fort, before it was abandoned, speak of the war for Sea Dragon Point, wherein the Starks brought down the Warg King and his inhuman allies, the Children of the Forest. When the Warg King's last redoubt fell, his sons were put to the sword, along with his beast and greenseers, whilst his daughters were taken as prizes by their conquerors." So right there, that's telling you basically that the Starks were going to war over land again, and they fought somebody called the Warg King. And this Warg King is pictured in the world of Ice and Fire with many animals surrounding him. So this is another skin changer who the Starks defeated, but this time it's a little bit different, whereas they defeated the Warg King for Sea Dragon Point. But the important part of this passage here says, of course, that once they killed him, they put all his sons to the sword and they took his daughters. So you can pretty much infer what that actually means when they say they took his daughters as prizes. But I believe this passage alone tells us when this magical ability entered the Stark bloodline. So essentially, I believe it went down like this. The first men came over, of course, and the Children of the Forest and the Giants were the only race there at the time. They, of course, went to war because they were taking their land and chopping down their weirwood trees. But over time, like in any civilization, some of the first men in that region started to intermingle with the Children of the Forest and likely had offspring. So of course, the Children of the Forest, having the original magical DNA to enable skin changing, green seeing, etc., passed this along to any offspring they had with the first men. So essentially, the Warg King and other first men like him were the first humans to have this ability, being the offspring of first men and Children of the Forest. And of course, in relation to the specific topic of this video, I believe this is the point when the Starks, or the old kings of winter, actually gained this ability as well. They killed the Warg King, put all his sons to the sword, and took his daughters. And of course, from there, they picked up the magical DNA as well. And being that they were the prominent house in the north, they became associated with wolves, direwolves, etc., and eventually took that as their sigil because of their skin changing and warging ability throughout later generations. So anyway, guys, that's how I believe that the Starks got their warging ability in the first place, and this seems to be an unknown thing in the recent years of the Stark family until Bloodraven sent those direwolves to the Stark children in our current story, and that's what kind of reawoken this magical DNA of ice in the world of Ice and Fire. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. And as usual, thank you for all the support, especially to you guys on Patreon. And a huge shout out to my executive Patreon smokescreen producers, Lala Gig, Marylin Bentley, Colton, Goska, HoonJive, Horton, Erin Habig, John Carey, Anastasia, Jason Landers, DTizSmith, MJW, Carole Brown, D Brown, Mike Colton, Lisa Phillips, Alfred Borstmayer, Rob Greene, and Ricky Corotte. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate the support. And thank you to everyone out there on YouTube as well. And if you dig what I do here, please give these videos a like, comment, and a share. And be sure to subscribe to get everything and click that notification bell so you're notified when I drop a new video. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.